All right. So we can see from positive law, which is man-made law, it branches off into two branches, which is called substantive law and procedural law. And I'll read these to you. As I said, I pulled these definitions out of an 8th edition Black's Law Dictionary. And we can see right here that substantive law, the part of the law that creates, defines, and regulates rights, including, for example, the law of contracts, torts, wills, and real property, the essential substance of rights under law. Okay, and opposite of that, we have what is called procedural law. Now, that is law that prescribes the procedures and methods for enforcing rights and duties, and for obtaining redress as in a suit, and that is distinguished from law that creates, defines, or regulates, which is, of course, substantive law. So you have these polar opposites here, substantive law and procedural law. And procedural law kind of gets into the cause and effect aspects of things. If you do something in a certain way, you'll always get a certain result. And that's why they have procedures that they have to follow. Those procedures are in alignment with the will of the masters, who is Congress, but they also are in alignment with natural law. They have to be. Anything that's out of alignment with natural law is going to have a temporary existence. And they understand that. So we have substantive law and procedural law. And from procedural law, we get remedial law, which is that which affords a remedy as a remedial statute, or one that is made to supply some defect to abridge some superfluities of the common law. The term remedial statute is also applied to those acts which give a new remedy. So from procedural law, we get remedial law. Obviously, if you follow the correct procedure, you'll get your remedy. But from substantive law also has two branches. And that branch is public law and private law. Now, this is something that would be well worth you remembering. You know, I have this whole chart memorized. When somebody says something to me in my mind's eye, I see this chart. On what side of the fence we're talking about? Are we talking about the public, which is the land of Caesar, because that's what public means, government? Or are we talking about private, which is the land of God, which is all the people who are so-called Christians or whatever your religion is? It should be your primary goal to align yourself with God and God's laws. And this is where you find your protection, and this is where you find your freedom at as well, on the private side. Now, what I see with a lot of people out there the people who blame the government, is that the people who blame the government don't have any respect for public rights. There's a thing called public rights doctrine. A lot of people out there, I'm seeing they just want to go and take something because they think something has been taken from them. And but what it is when you begin to understand the law, okay, it's just like a house. All right, you can live in a neighborhood, but you have your house. Okay, and I have my house. Now, you can't walk into my house and just open the door and walk into the house, don't even knock, go into my refrigerator and start taking food out. And then I come into the house and say, hey, look, hey, why are you in my refrigerator? You need to pay me for the food that you ate. And you say, well, no, I don't have to pay you. I'm exempt. But yet and still, you're in my house eating my food, No, you're going to pay for that food. You're not automatically exempt. You took something that belongs to me. Okay? So you have to be respectful not only of your fellow man, you also have to be respectful of government, because government has rights too. And I'm going to show you that right now.